Kick your feet up. This is Just Casual Sports Podcast, episode 40. My name is Garnett Punter II, the host of the Just Casual Sports Podcast. It's a monumentous episode. We only got two of us here. To my left,
I know, man. I'm sad.
it's Mike Curry, a.k.a. Mikey C. How you doing today?
Good, man. Ready to talk about Wild Card Weekend, man. It was a good weekend.
It was a great weekend of football.
Yeah, some really good games. Like literally,
I'm not gonna lie.
Every game was cool till yesterday. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm not going to lie. Even if all the games wasn't cool, I had one outcome happen this weekend, and that made up for the whole entire weekend, man.
Wait, what's that?
The Eagles losing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to get into that, man.
Oh, my God.
I got a 49ers hat off, man. I got some apologies to issue when we get to that game.
Oh, yeah, they was on your ass in the comment. Well, they was on both of us in the comments.
I mean, that's cool. That's cool.
It's part of the business.
It's part of the business. I can't be right about everything. Shit, I would have been on if I was.
But how you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. A little disappointed that it's just us, man. But, you know, we got to take care of business.
Three things certain in life.
We'll start to get the 4-man pods in about a week. So those will be back soon.
There's three things certain in life. Death, taxes, and the Jackson Sports Podcast going to be on Wednesdays and Saturdays, no matter what.
No matter what.
But y'all know how these Tuesday episodes start off. Hoopers of the week. You know what? I'll go first.
Yeah, I feel like you don't usually go first.
I got two names that I didn't expect to have after this weekend. I think I'm adding something for my Hoopers of the week for the playoffs. To be a Hooper of the week, you have to win because it's the playoffs. Because if not, Jordan Love would undoubtedly be one of my Hoopers of the week.
Because I was thinking that.
But I think you have to win. And we'll start with Tre'Davious White.
Actually, I got a second one now.
We'll start with Tre'Davious White. He had a phenomenal game. 4 targets, only 1 catch for 3 yards allowed, 3 PBUs, 3 tackles, including the game-winning PBU. He had another pass that should have been picked off that he dropped. Yeah. He was just all over the field, and it was a vintage Trey White performance.
He's looking like prime Trey White.
That really helped Buffalo get past Jacksonville, in my opinion. And my other Hooper of the week, I had to give it to one of the Patriots D linemen. I decided on Caleb Von Chason.
I thought you were going to give it to Milton.
He had a phenomenal game, too. But 3 tackles, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble for Chason. I mean, the whole Patriots defense was flying all over the field. I mean, we'll get into that because it's a lot of nasty narratives going around in terms of the Chargers and their QB1, Justin Herbert. I'm mad Jalen is there. He went on a generational rant like 3 a.m.
He did. I peeped that jump.
Yeah, he got some things he got to say, but
hopefully we see him Friday. I need to see.
We need to see him.
We need to see him Friday.
No. It's not hopefully. We're going to see him Friday. I don't care what's happening.
Yeah, we'll work around him. We will actually work around him.
We're
on
going
Friday,
to see him Friday. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
No, that's a fact. My Hoopers of the week.
I'm actually leaning with his team this week. I'm not gonna lie, but
yeah, I'm fake leaning Broncos too. Yeah, I actually was only gonna have one, but my first one is gonna be Colston Loveland.
Oh no, he was hooping.
Me and Cyrus Guy. Colston Loveland, 8 catches, blues 137.
Hey, I was reworking my positional rankings. Colston Loveland did it he ended as like the 6th ranked tight end on my list.
He's good as advertised, man. It just took him a little while to
top 20 player on my big board. I had him over Tyler Warren. People said that was a little crazy, but
Colston Loveland is like that. He's a bucket. It just took him some time to get acclimated to the Ben Johnson system. I feel like now you're seeing him and Luther Burden finally flourish in that system, man. They had some growing pains, but now they're making an impact.
They have a lot of just weapons.
Yeah, they got too many. They're making an impact at the best time of the year. And Colston Loveland, it was one drive where he had maybe 3 catches on that one drive. It was obviously when the Bears were trying to come back into the game, but yeah, man, he's making some plays, man. He's making a lot of plays. He even had one drop, and then they went right back to him, and he just kept making plays.
That's something I said this in a group chat a while ago. It's something when a player makes a mistake and a coach goes straight back to him, just showing you have the confidence in him. They did that with the Miami running back Mark Fletcher in the Ohio State game. That's really what I was referring to. But you even got, like you said, Colston Loveland. Like you said,
should have gave my Hooper of the week to Mendoza or Indiana defense. that joint was crazy. My second Hooper of the week,
national championship game next Monday, right?
Hell yeah, yep. January 19th, day after my B-Day. Second Hooper of the week, man. I'm going to go with Christian Kirk, man. 8 catches, 144 yards. Christian Kirk, yeah, man. Not what Stephen A. Smith said. But Christian Kirk was making plays, a lot of big plays on big third downs.
When they needed him the most.
When they needed him the most. C.J. Stroud was getting to him. Had a big chunk play late in the game, and that was after Nico Collins went out. Christian Kirk, man, he balled out, man. I would say that's the biggest bright spot for the Texans offense in last night's game. Obviously Woody Marks and Nick Chubb, they had some solid runs.
Woody
And
Marks
of
was
course,
evaluated to get in the blue medical team. Like, I swear, it's actually a
nah,
weekly occurrence. I don't understand it,
it's
but
like
he's never hurt. Like
yeah,
he's just like
yeah,
something happened.
it's like he like Anthony Davis headed to the locker room, except
Yeah.
that dude really be hurt. But Woody Marks be right back out there. But yeah, shout out Christian Kirk, man. Shout out Colston Loveland, man. Those guys had some good games.
Normally we would go straight into the 2 minute drill. It's only one guy here today. I'm not about to like just ask this man 20 straight questions.
You can ask me like two or three though, from any takeaways. If you got anything off the top of your head.
I don't have anything on top of my head.
All right,
I mean, I want to talk about some of these coaches now, though,
we
because
can do it.
Mike Tomlin stepped down today
Mhm.
after 19 years. This is only going to be the next coach will be the fourth coach in Steelers franchise history. Obviously, we know Mike Tomlin won a Super Bowl, never had a losing record, but is also on a 7 game postseason losing streak.
Yeah.
What are your just thoughts about Mike Tomlin stepping down from Pittsburgh?
Um, I thought it was kind of a thing that was a little bit overdue. I kind
Mhm.
of thought like. I think I said it in the group chat earlier, man. I really like Mike Tomlin, but
I think he's a good coach.
think the game kind of passed him by a little bit. But also the front office showed an inability to get a quarterback post Ben Roethlisberger.
Because there's not many guys who are going to win games with Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, they had
Mason
Duck Hodges in
Rudolph,
there.
Duck Hodges, Trubisky played some games for them. Justin Fields played some games for them. Russell Wilson played
Russell
some games for them.
Wilson.
Obviously Rodgers this season, but he didn't even start all 17 games. Mason
Yeah.
Rudolph started one too. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah. So like it's in between both of those things where like it was kind of time, but also they literally failed to get the next franchise quarterback in there.
We didn't even say Kenny Pickett, who was their first round draft
Yeah,
pick. for
Kenny
them.
Pickett was a first round pick. They whiffed on that, obviously. But Mike Tomlin, I don't know if I'll say great, but I'll say really good head coach. Some might disagree. Some might say great, but really good head coach. Obviously, when you don't have a losing season, I can't shit on you too much. But at the same time, the failed playoffs. Every time they got in there, that's a huge stain that I just can't erase. Especially the last decade or so. But
Mhm.
I've always thought he was a really good coach, man. Funny ass dude in the media.
Mhm.
I'm gonna miss that. But I wanted to ask you before I get your thoughts on it. What do you think about him stepping down because they retain his rights and he could
Yeah.
potentially get traded like how Sean Payton was? What do you think about that?
I think a lot of teams would love to have a Mike Tomlin type guy in their locker room. Obviously, I think he's a culture bringer. He brings stuff to the defensive side of the ball, and obviously, like I said, teams value winning. He's never had a losing season, so I think potentially he will be if he wants a job. I think
Yeah.
he will get a job next year. I think that's kind of where he's in. The same realm we felt like Sean Payton was in. He was on TV. If he wanted a job, he could get a job.
And that's
There's
what
even
happened.
rumors Mike Tomlin's going to be on TV next year, which
I saw that.
I would love to see.
Yeah.
But I was gonna talk about the Steelers more and like who's the candidate for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They said a lot of guys want this job. They said it's up there with the Ravens job.
Yeah.
I think they are gonna interview Brian Flores, who was with Pittsburgh a few years ago.
Mhm.
That kind of seems like the number one candidate in my eyes. He kind of like fits the Steelers mold, like more of a defensive type of coach.
Yeah.
And like I said, he was with the Steelers 2 years ago, 3 years
Yeah,
ago,
3
right before he
years
was
ago, yeah.
in Minnesota. So I think that would be a good fit.
Yeah.
I think Jesse Minter, the Chargers DC, would be a good fit if they were to go that route. I don't know why I want to put them with a defensive guy. I just feel like that's all I've known at the time. I mean, what? He's 19 years.
Mhm.
I've been alive for 20. Like he's been the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers for as long as I can remember, obviously.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why I'm leaning more defensive type of guys. I mean, I just can't see like Clint Kubiak or one of those offensive guys
Yeah.
coming. Like Cliff Kingsbury does not seem like a Steelers type of coach.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely an attractive job just for stability purposes.
The pedigree.
And the pedigree. The Steelers haven't had many coaches in
Only
their
3.
franchise's history. So
To put that in perspective, the Giants have had 7 coaches since 2015. And the Steelers have had 3 in their 60-year history.
yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, obviously there's a lot of stability there.
They've had 3 that long. We talk about the Ravens having 3 in like 22 years as like, or 24 years, however long they've been a team,
Mhm.
as like really great. The Steelers are exceptional at that, I guess.
Yeah, that's the most stability you can have, and you can ask for if you're a head coach. So, curious to see what direction they go with. I know you mentioned some names, but I'm sure we'll hear something tomorrow, like who they're bringing in.
Mhm.
Because this is all fresh. This happened at 2 p.m. The news broke, so we'll see what happens.
Did you see what the
though.
Ravens owner said?
About what? John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
If Luke would have made the kick.
He said, "Yeah, at least one more week you'll
Yeah,
be
no,
coaching the team."
and I was OC.
Oh, that was funny. Other thing I want to say, how do you feel about Matt Lafleur as the Packers head coach?
It's a tricky situation
Because right now he doesn't have a contract right now.
Yeah, I know
They're
what
working on an extension.
Yeah,
But
we got 1 year left or something.
yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, it's tricky because I know a lot of people can put the game on him, but I really got to put the game on Brandon McManus, bro. Just those kicks were just super untimely. Um, that's your job. You know, you got one job, man. To make those field goals, I believe he missed something like the 40s. I think it was 40.
they were all close field goals. It wasn't like it was like a 55-yarder in the Chicago win that he just like missed. He missed 2 extra points. Well, 1 extra point. No, 2 extra points, right? It was 1 extra point and 2 field goals.
2 field goals. Yeah, he left 7 points on the board. So I mean, I can't put that on Matt Lafleur. He got you downfield. You know, if you want to say he got conservative, okay, maybe, but at the end of the day, they were getting downfield, and their kicker should have done his job.
It's an interesting standpoint with LaFleur because this guy following TikTok, his name is Evan Burner. He made it like the point of the NFC is like the coach conference, and the AFC is like the quarterback conference. Like as much as we talk about Justin Herbert and stuff because he can't get over the playoff hump, he's still like a top 7 quarterback in the league. He might even be the 5th best quarterback in his conference, depending on how you feel about Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, Burrow, and Drake May. He might be like around the 6th best quarterback in his conference, but you don't move on from like a top 7 or 8 quarterback in the league. That's kind of the same way you feel about Matt LaFleur to the point where I don't know if you could put him over like obviously Shanahan, McVay, and damn, he might be the 4th best coach in this division. Like depending on how you feel about Ben Johnson, Campbell, and KOC, that's 5 guys right there. I didn't even mention Mike McDonald, who you might throw over him.
You might throw Mike McDonald.
You might throw Mike McDonald over him, but now he's what? Around
depending on who you ask, somebody say Sirianni. Some might say it.
He's about. Like
I'm not going to say
he's
it.
like the 7th best coach in his.
Some might say it.
He's like the 7th best coach in his conference, but he's still like top 10 in the overall
he's still
league.
a hell of a
so
coach.
How can you just move on from that, especially when he's a guy who gives you an advantage on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah.
You could say his play calling got. Some people might even say too reckless, especially down the stretch, and we'll get more into that game when we get into the game. But I don't know how you could just like straight up move on from Matt LaFleur. Like I can understand this year being a make or break year for him. Like you have to win a playoff game this year, but this was a team that was 9-3-1 in games that Micah Parsons started and finished. They were 0-5 in games where he didn't start and finish. So it's like I can't put that too much on him.
I mean, that's their best player.
Yeah. And it's not only that they lost their best player; they also lost their best offensive lineman. Their second best offensive lineman was gone for some time. They were without Devontae Wyatt, who was their second best defensive lineman. Tucker Kraft, who I would argue is their best weapon, they were without too. So it's like
they didn't have Jaden Reed for most of the year.
They didn't have Jaden Reed for most of the year. They didn't have Christian Watson for most of the year. And it's like I understand at some point you have to win a playoff game. You have to, but I can't get rid of a guy who gives me a schematic advantage. And it's crazy I'm saying this about a guy who literally. If you ask me right now, I probably would say, yeah, he might be the 4th best coach in his own division, but because it gets scary. Don't let Kevin O'Connell get a quarterback.
Yeah.
And now the Vikings team is real. Don't let Detroit fix their offensive line problems, and now their team is real. The Bears already beat you twice this year, and could have easily beat you a 3rd time if Caleb Williams put more air under the ball in the first game. But you could literally be saying the same thing. Like you could have been like, damn, we could have swept these boys because like you allow 2 comebacks in the final 5 minutes of the game twice to the same team. Like.
Yeah. And the Packers could be saying, "Oh, we could have won the Cowboys game in the tie."
But you could argue that was Matt LaFleur's coaching because they were running plays with like 6 seconds left, and you're just kind of like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, that was weird. Like that was weird.
They could have easily lost that game.
That was weird. Yeah,
they could have easily lost that game. But
and I can't put those 2 intentional grounders on Jordan Love. I can't put that on Matt LaFleur. They were talking about how Jordan Love had like 1 intentional grounding in his career, and then he had 2 in that game. I can't put that on Matt LaFleur.
Yeah. So, like, I understand people who want to fire Matt LaFleur, and I understand why Packers fans, you will be frustrated.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like, it's an understandable frustration, but it's just kind of like, you just don't get rid of a top 10 coach. Because, like, they fire him. Now, who do they bring in?
I mean, unless you're really hot over, like, Kubiak or...
Well, Kubiak, I feel like he would find himself in the same exact position Matt LaFleur is.
Yeah, I agree, but it just depends on
It does suck that you might lose your defensive coordinator this year, Jeff Hafley, who I'm not even the most fondest of, but obviously losing any coordinator is going to bring change and is going to be a certain uncertainty around your organization. So, Yeah. You ready to break down Wild Card Weekend?
Yeah, nah, let's do
One
it.
of the wildest weekends we done seen in a minute, and it started in Carolina,
Mm.
where the 8-9 Panthers took the MVP contender Matthew Stafford, the Jack MVP, to the brink. Rams won 34-31. Matthew Stafford 24-42, 304 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Bryce Young 21-40, 264 yards, a touchdown and interception. Kyron Williams had 57 yards on the ground. Chuba Hubbard had 46 and 2 touchdowns. Jalen Coker,
Coke
Coke boy,
boys.
9 receptions for a buck 34 and a touchdown, and Puka Nakua 10 receptions for 111 and a touchdown. Could have easily been 3 touchdowns, but certain things happen, and then you could have said could have easily been 4 touchdowns if Stafford just hits him instead of hitting the DB in the end zone.
Yeah.
But I'll let you start.
I want to give the Panthers a lot of credit. I kind of thought like, okay, the Rams gonna figure these guys out and smoke these guys.
And it looked like that for the majority of the first quarter,
and it
the
did
first
look like
half,
that.
I should say.
They showed a lot of heart. They showed a lot of grit. I want to give credit to Dave Canales. I want to give credit to Bryce Young.
I feel like Dave Canales is also going to find himself in like that Matt Lafluer tier.
I could see that. I could see that to a lesser degree for sure. But the Panthers, they showed up, man. Chuba Hubbard kind of got a Chuba Hubbard sighting too. He ran the ball well. The Rams look vulnerable, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's like I'm impressed with the Panthers, but the Rams have also looked like they've continued to look shaky.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't like how they closed the season. Pretty much starting with that. Honestly, you can go even further than that, but that Seattle game was the last, thing that had a bad taste in my mouth just about how they blew that game.
It's just, I think the narratives around the Rams are funny. Because during this game, they flashed the thing on the screen talking about the Rams have lost their 5 games by 17 combined points. And you got Kevin Burkhardt and the booth talking about something. They could be undefeated. You don't lose 5 games and you can be undefeated. Like, you don't get that luxury, bro. I can understand they lost 2 games
2 or
or
3.
something like that.
Yeah.
But they lost 5 games this season. And Kevin Burkhardt and the booth talking about they could be undefeated right now. No, you couldn't. No, you couldn't. I feel like you see why in this game. And I think it's just a little hilarious, the narratives that get pushed for Stafford. Because you see even Ian Rappaport and like these beat reporters put out like Stafford with an MVP-like performance. I personally don't think Stafford played that well.
He played all right.
I think he played. Maybe it's just for Stafford standards that he didn't play well. But again, like I said all season, struggled under pressure. 0 for 7 for no touchdowns, a sack, and an interception under pressure. He had the worst passer rating under pressure during Wild Card Weekend. Worse than Justin Herbert's. Worse than C.J. Stroud's. Worse than Aaron Rodgers, who we'll get into all 3 of those guys later. But like, that's pretty alarming to me. I don't know if the Bears are going to be able to get that same type of pressure on them, but it's supposed to be frigid when they play in Chicago this weekend. So.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
And obviously Stafford has the injury to his finger, sprained finger. But they said obviously he's gonna be good to go.
It ain't gonna feel good in that cold.
It's not gonna feel good in that cold. I'll tell you that right now. But like you said, the Rams look shaky. This was a team that I picked to go to the Super Bowl, so obviously I didn't want to see them look shaky. But it's like for a half of football, it's like, damn, this team is the best team in the conference. Like this team is the best team in the league, and it just depends on. Are they going to be consistent enough to win 4 straight games and what it looks like 4 straight road games at this point? Unless San Fran upsets Seattle, then you could potentially have a home game for the NFC Championship.
Which is very possible.
Which is very possible, but it's tough, man. I don't know how to look at this Rams team. I don't know how to grade them, especially their secondary. It seemed like Jalen Coker and Tedero McMillan was getting whatever they want.
They was having their way.
And now, oh my God, guess who you got to play? Luther Bird and DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Colston Loveland, Cole Kmet, you can even add to that receiving core. And now it's like, damn, like I understand the Bears be inconsistent, but like you could find some consistency against that defense. Yeah, especially if the defense isn't winning with 4.
There's definitely some things to be had.
And I think the Bears' offensive line is better than the Panthers.
I was going to say, especially with the Bears' offensive line, they invested a lot into their offensive line this year. So, fuck. I love the Rams, so damn, I might be saying bear down this weekend. But
hey, shout out Cyrus. He went 6-0 on the picks this week. He called himself a playoff riser.
Yeah, that was ugly. But nah, shout out to my guy, Cyber Guy, man.
But nah, like you said about the Panthers, I think regardless, like we've been saying for weeks, this season is a success. Obviously, Panthers fans, I know it sucks because you probably wanted to win this game, especially when you saw you were in it so late. But I think Bryce Young played well in this game. Mm-hmm. I think as of recently, like as of late, like to end the last 2 seasons, he's played better than C.J. Stroud. And I know that's like, why are you comparing it to? Obviously, one was the first overall pick, one was the second overall pick. So
kind of have to.
You're going to compare them in their career. But Bryce is solid. I think his contract is going to be very interesting because obviously you don't want to overpay him like they did Tua. but I don't know what. I, it's probably good for the Panthers that Bryce Young did not win this game.
Nah,
It's
facts.
probably,
Nah, facts.
it's probably
Nah.
great for them that he didn't win this game when it comes to contract extension time. Because I think his contract's going to be a really interesting one. Because it's like, obviously, going to have to pay him some money, but I pay him. QB contracts are going to keep going up. But if he could look and say, yo, Jared Goff makes about $55 million. Like, Trevor Lawrence, albeit he has a playoff one, makes about $55
He
million.
could point at Kirk Cousins' contract.
He could point at Kirk Cousins' contract. So it's like, but I would still give him like 35. And I think that's still a lot of money for Bryce Young.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We was talking about this man getting traded earlier
Who
this
was that?
season.
Aiden and
Yeah.
Jalen?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if Jalen was, but I know for
Remember
sure it was
Aiden
Aiden.
was talking. I'm trying to think of the clip, but I know Aiden was talking about it. I
We
think it was Aiden and Jalen.
We was talking about that man getting benched earlier this year, and now he damn near won a playoff game. Like, that was... And Aiden said he didn't want to see this in the playoffs.
And the Panthers won the division. Shit. So
Aiden said he didn't want to see Bryce Young in the playoffs. He said he'd rather see Baker.
I mean, that's his guy. That's his guy.
Yeah. But, congratulations to the Rams. You got a date with Chicago next round. Who is the next game we're going to be getting into? Chicago took on Green Bay. And what a game it was.
Man.
We got breaking news. Aiden will be on the pod on Friday.
Okay.
And Jalen said, depending on the time, saying, you work on Friday?
No, I'm off on Friday.
Okay. We should get a good one then. But Packers took on the Bears. Bears won 31-27. Jordan Love 24-46, 323 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Josh Jacobs 19 carries for 55 yards. Romeo Dobbs 8 catches for a $124 touchdown. Matthew Golden even found the end zone in this one. Jaden Reed and Christian Watson also found the end zone in this one. Caleb Williams 24-48, 361 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. DeAndre Swift 13 carries for 54 yards and a touchdown. And Loveland 8 for 137. DJ Moore had a touchdown through the air. How do you feel about the Bears? Because they didn't punt in this game. They had 10 possessions.
Caleb Williams said the punter wasn't going to be doing punting when he first came to Chicago.
They had 10 possessions, and they didn't punt once, but turned the ball over 3 times on 4th down, one of which was an actual turnover. People were like, I felt like we was going to have a very different conversation while I was watching this game.
Nah,
I felt like this was going to be a very different conversation, but we can't even have that conversation because the Bears won. People were saying the Dan Campbell tree is ruining football because they keep going for it on 4th down. But it's like, at some point, nobody thought the Bears defense was going to stop the Packers like that, like the way they did. And for real, they did it. For real, they didn't. We're a couple missed kicks away from Brandon McManus for having a very different conversation. Or you have the Jaden Reed drop on the final drive and the Christian Watson drop on the final drive. We could literally just be having a completely different conversation right now, talking about how the Bears battled back and this was a fantastic season for the Bears and a step in the right direction. But we're not doing that because they won the damn game. And Caleb Williams, although had a shaky first half, second half was nails. They call that man Iceman. That's what they call him on Twitter now.
Yeah, I peeped that. I want to say about Caleb Williams, man. Played phenomenal in the second half, but bro,
that throw he made.
Nah, that throw was surgical.
Was it Luther Burden? I don't even remember who it was, but you know what I'm talking about. Falling down on the left sideline, throwing down.
I think that was Luther Burden.
I think it was Luther Burden.
But I want to say about Caleb Williams, when he masters on schedule football, because there were some throws and it was some gimmies that he was just missing. I'm like,
that's the Caleb Williams.
That is the Caleb Williams, but it's just like he's so young, so I got to give him a pass. But like when he makes those throws combined with the off schedule stuff, we have an MVP candidate, bro. We have an MVP.
I think he has a skill set to be the best quarterback in the NFL.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I truly think he does, and obviously I don't want to pre-fire it. Like I don't want to just say it right now, but. We was talking in the group chat the other day because Stroud looked shaky. I'm like, bro, I'm about to just place Caleb Williams and say what we do on quarterback break and just move on. Like,
I said JD5 was gonna be my default 10th.
Because Caleb Williams, he just makes plays that I'm like, damn, can Mahomes even make that play?
Nah, I think Mahomes can make that play.
But like,
but
you
it's
like, think like it's
like,
only him and Mahomes who can make that play.
Nah, facts.
Like, and it's just, for lack of a better word, it's like mesmerizing kind of watching him play a little bit. And I didn't think he would be this good this fast in the Ben Johnson system. I thought it would be more unscheduled stuff, but sometimes it doesn't even matter.
I mean, like I said,
it's no defense.
Everybody was going through growing pains. This whole, basically all the young players on this team was going through growing pains. So I'm just glad to see everybody playing well, man, and it's kind of scary, bro.
I'm mad this Jordan Love performance went to waste though.
Nah, bro. No, you know what else went to waste?
He couldn't play better.
You know what else went to waste?
What?
A Matthew Golden sighting, bro.
Yeah.
My dog, Matthew. Bro, I was so hyped when he scored that touchdown because he got like real saucy with it too. Like, oh man,
I think Matthew Gold is still gonna be nice. I think it was a hard situation for him to come in because obviously they're trying to get all their guys back. Like we say, they have all these wide receiver tools. That's why I think Romeo Dobbs is probably gone this offseason. He's a free agent.
Somebody's gonna pay him. Panthers. Panthers pick on the phone.
Nah, I feel like the Panthers need a rack threat, like somebody who could get something after the catch, bro.
That's valid.
I love Tet. I think Tet and Coker you could build around. It's funny if Coker was the first round pick and Leggett was the UDFA guy, you would say, "Oh damn, they've been knocking these receivers out the park." But it obviously was the other way around. But I think Tet and Coker are two guys you could build around. I think if you could get like some type of yak threat, I think that receiving core would be nasty. But it's gonna be an interesting offseason for the Packers. Like we already said about the Lafluer stuff. I think you need to add something to that defense because it can't just be Micah Parsons and nobody else. Obviously, Devontae Wyatt was phenomenal this year when he was in, but he wasn't
Quay
in.
Walker had a nice game.
I like their run. I like their linebackers. I like Quay Walker. I like Edgerrin Cooper. Keyshawn Nixon's fall off needs to be studied. Like he was just bad to end this season.
You know, they was the way they was talking about him. This was after the Commanders game. They was talking like
he was top 10. He was on his way.
They was talking like he was Richard Sherman out there.
I mean, he had like 6 PBUs there.
No, he did. He did. But they were talking about like he was Richard Sherman.
Shout out to Xavier McKinney. He's a good piece as well, but I think you need to fix this secondary. Nate Hobbs was in and out the lineup for the majority of this year, so who knows what you even have in him. You gave him, I believe it was a 3-year deal this offseason. I don't think it was a 1-year deal.
Years, yeah.
But, yeah, and you need to find somebody other than Rashawn Gary, man, because he can't get pressure. Yeah. He just legitimately can't get pressure. And obviously Mike is going to be back. They said he's looking to return early in the season, like week 3 or week 4. He didn't get surgery till like a month after the ACL tear or something like that. So obviously his recovery is going to be a little bit delayed. But you just got to kind of come in. You got to make some type of change. You can't run the same team back. Even though you were so good with the team at its full strength, you have to make some type of change, in my opinion. You have to get better because if you don't get better, especially in this division, 100% going to be worse.
Yeah.
100% going to be worse. And
you know the Lions and Vikings are going to be striving to be better next year, too.
Yeah.
So.
But if Minnesota loses Brian Flores, I don't know if I could pick them to be better.
No, that's valid.
That's
But the Lions, though.
Yeah.
The Lions.
Yeah.
I trust the Lions to be
I trust the Lions to be better, especially if they get better in the trenches.
Yeah.
It's just, you're kind of in a bad position. Because you were literally like, for about 75%, 85% of this game, I was expecting them to win this game.
Yeah.
I was like, at some point, they're going to put together a drive. They're actually going to get into the end zone.
I was like, they're going to put them away.
Yeah, and that just
like,
didn't
the
happen.
Bears had a nice run, but Packers going to put them away.
Like, it couldn't happen again, right?
Yeah, nah.
It couldn't happen again, right? And it keeps happening. Shout out the Bears. Shout out the Bears, man. Like,
bear down.
They're in the divisional round of the playoffs. Even you, who were the highest on them,
Cyrus was.
Cyrus was the highest.
I think Cyrus had them winning division.
Yeah,
but I was speaking highly. I was speaking the most highly of them.
But I don't even think you thought they were gonna make it to the.
Nah, hell no. I definitely. I mean, if I picked them to be a wild card team, which they were, I mean, I guess I could have saw them.
But you're still shocked.
No, I'm still shocked because I didn't even pick them in this game. But
only Cyrus and Kenny did. No, was it Kenny? No, Kenny picked the Packers. Cyrus and
Aiden.
I think it was Aiden. Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Bears, man. I was saying bear down like what week y'all play now?
3.
Yeah, I was saying that shit.
And they were 0-2.
And I came in with that game changed their season, bro. It's 2 games that changed the complexion of their season. That game and the Commanders game.
They were 0-2 and made the second round. The Texans are 0-3 and made the second round.
Interesting.
They're the first team, I think they said, for a minute to go 0-3 and win a playoff game. The Texans.
You know, that's live.
But shout out the Bears,
Sunday
man.
Slate, huh?
Hey, the Sunday slate, man.
Yeah, let's talk about it, man. Both of our
Super Bowl picks in the AFC clashed. Buffalo beat Jacksonville. Jacksonville was riding off an 8-game win streak, but they lost 27-24. Josh Allen 28-35, 273 yards and a touchdown. Also had 2 on the ground. The best engine in football, James Cook, only had 46 yards. Khalil Shakir, I think this was Jalen was thinking when he drafted him in fantasy. 12 targets, 12 catches, 82 yards. Like everything that came to him, he grabbed. Kincaid had their touchdown through the air. On the other side, Trevor Lawrence, 18 and 30, 207 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Travis Etienne had 67 yards. Bayshaw Tune had 51 yards. Parker Washington, 7 grabs for a bucko, 7 and a touchdown. Etienne had a touchdown through the air, and same with Brian Thomas Jr. Where the Brian Thomas Jr. side, man?
Hey, real quick, I want to apologize to Parker Washington because I know who said it. Was it you that said it?
Yeah, I'd say he should have been unsung hero.
Yeah, no, he should have been unsung hero for sure, or most improved.
Yeah, no, that's what I said.
Most improved, yeah, because
I said
he
should've been a
had a
candidate.
hell of a fucking year, bro.
I want to talk about Liam Cohen a little bit.
Yeah, let's
Because
hear it.
he's one of the best run game designers in the league. And in this game, what? Bayshaw averaged what? I believe it was 12 yards a carry, if I'm not mistaken.
And Travis Etienne averaged.
Yeah, Bayshaw 2
6
averaged
yards a
12.8
carry.
yards a carry. Etienne had 6.7 yards a carry. I just don't understand why they didn't run the ball more.
Yeah.
I genuinely just don't understand why they didn't run the ball more. Because I feel like when they were running the ball, they were controlling this game. You saw these long drives that ended up in touchdowns. I also want to talk about that the going for it on fourth down early in the game after you get the fumble and the kick return. Because even the group chat, I said, I don't know if they should have went for this one. And they didn't get it. But obviously hindsight is 20/20. But I'm like,
Oh,
you
that you talking about early in the game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you could have kicked the field goal right there and went up 7. Obviously, hindsight is 20/20. You would have been in overtime. But like, I don't understand why couldn't they just win up 7? Because even if you get the first down, it's not like a guarantee you get a touchdown. You still would have been at like the 16-yard line.
Yeah, why not go up 7 at the crib too?
Yeah, and it's early in the game.
Yeah, it's early
I
in the
can
game.
understand if it was later in the game. You're like, okay, let's put these guys away. Like, this is our chance to put these guys away. Our defense has been reeling all day. You only gave up a field goal, and then obviously you gave a 92-yard touchdown drive on the ensuing possession.
Yeah.
But it's like, especially after you get a big change like that turnover, that could have literally changed the whole entire momentum of the game. So I can see why you would want to go for it, but I personally just like, and I'm normally, you know me, I'm normally bigger on go for it right
you
now.
usually like pro go for it.
I just thought that was a little reckless of a decision. I think Trevor Lawrence, despite the I think he played a solid game. I think he played good enough to win. On the final interception, Jacoby Myers just got bullied on the rep by Trey White.
Yeah, no, he got.
And Jacoby
bullied.
Myers sucked this game. He was
And he was one of those guys that was like probably like an honorable mention acquisition of the year for real.
So Mike, Jacoby Myers had a negative .78 EPA per target this game.
How do you even do that?
He only had 4 targets, meaning every time they threw the ball to him, they were losing a point on the scoreboard.
Yeah, damn.
That's how bad he was this game.
Didn't they give him an extension too?
3 years, $60 million. That's not that bad of an extension, but
I mean, yeah, but it's
it's just like, damn, you had your worst game to play on that shit. Like, I can see how that could be frustrating. I just don't understand why they didn't run the ball more. Like that's honestly, the Bills can they give it up on the ground.
Yeah,
I think they have a very interesting matchup
that's
with the
way they
Broncos this
exploit
week
them, yeah.
because the Broncos haven't been able to run the football as of late. So I think it'll be interesting how they play defensively. Okay, no, Mike, because you were talking about you picked the Jaguars over this game. The Jaguars, I did not expect a Shaq Thompson and a Tre'Davious White legacy game. My fault for not expecting that. That's the reason why Buffalo won this game.
It's just like
Shout out Brandon Cooks.
it's just like certain stuff just don't sound right.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this NFL season's been very wild, but I'd be damned if I saw the Jaguars go to the Super Bowl this year, bruh. But I think in the broadcast they were saying like who win this game could make a Super Bowl run. But
I have a new pick in the AFC. Obviously, because my pick is gone.
I was gonna say you have to.
Yeah, I have a new pick in the AFC.
It's the Texans,
No,
the Bills,
no,
the Broncos.
no.
Wait, so who's left?
The Patriots.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're a dick riding ass.
I'm not even.
Drake Maylover.
We'll get to it
This
later.
Drake Maylover account running
We'll get
right
to it
here,
later.
man.
We'll get to it later, but yeah, I think Buffalo looked good in this one. They look better than I expected, so I'll say that. We did say Jalen need to issue an apology, but he like, an apology for what? We was like, you the one who said on a couple weeks ago, like,
Nah, he
this
said
team,
that joint. He said that joint on 2 different episodes.
yeah, that they wouldn't beat the Jaguars in the playoff game. And
Hey, you
went out
wild,
and
bro. Jalen, you wild, bro. You my mans, but you gotta apologize, bro. Cause Superman did put the cape on, bro, and I think you acknowledge that too. But still,
because they stopped the best engine in football.
they did. They definitely.
They said Josh Allen couldn't do it on the road. They say he couldn't do it without James Cook. He did it.
Oh, that's another thing I told y'all though. The Bills are battle tested, bro. Playoff experience. To me, it showed. To me, it showed in this game. Maybe even Liam Cohen kind of got like, maybe like, too into his head too much. Like, let me not do what's working. Like coaches be doing sometimes. But like I said, Bills battle tested. They've been going through these playoff runs. Obviously, it's been disappointing year after year, but they've been here before. Like they've been in the first round, bro. They've been on the road. It's nothing new, bro.
I think an interesting conversation to have. Who do you think is a better playoff performer off the top of your head, Herbert or Trevor Lawrence? Because I feel like everybody would say Trevor Lawrence. But you know why do you know why I'm asking this question?
Bro, neither, bro.
Trevor Lawrence has 7 interceptions in 3 playoff games.
His interceptions be like, Trevor, oh no.
And in that game where they came back down 27-0 against the Chargers, he had 4 interceptions in that game.
I remember that.
All in the first half.
Oh yeah, so I can't give it to him.
So that's what I'm saying. And Herbert's not a good playoff performer either, or at least he hasn't shown that in his career. I don't think he played bad in that first game against the Chargers. I mean, against the Jaguars. I don't even particularly think he played bad against the Patriots. We'll get to him later, but I don't know, man. I don't know. And Jalen gonna be like, so why did Trevor get the benefit of the doubt if Herbert does? But like, Trevor's just not as good as Herbert. And I feel like we all know that. Like,
he's just not.
He simply just is not as good as him. And it's nothing wrong with that. I still think he's like, what, the 12th, 13th, 14th best quarterback in the league. He around there somewhere, but
Yeah, he in the goofy tier.
I think he might be a smidge above the goofy tier.
That's valid.
I think he a little more consistent. I mean, the man had 36 touchdowns this season.
Had a hell of a year.
Yeah.
But with Liam Cohen, though, I don't think that's a coincidence.
I don't think it's a coincidence either. I see a lot of people talking about, like, this is a step in the right direction for Jacksonville, but I'm like, we see teams too often just have this 1 year and then fade back away into nothingness. I don't think Jacksonville's that team.
But that's what they do, though.
Yeah, but I feel like every time we say this, they have the talent. Like, they have the talent. They have a Josh Allen. They have a Josh Hines Allen who, in my opinion, is a top 10 edge rusher in the sport. I think Trayvon Walker is a solid edge too.
He had a good year.
Devin Lloyd, who they need to resign this offseason. He's a free agent.
He needs
but
to be a commander.
I was saying, every time I see Trayvon Walker play, I'm like, damn, they could really have Aiden Hutchinson off this other edge instead of him.
I feel like Aiden Hutchinson was always supposed to be the pick, and then like a couple days before the draft, they're like, all signs point to the Jaguars drafting Trayvon Walker.
And he's not a bad player.
Yeah.
But it's like, damn, yo, imagine if that was Aiden Hutchinson.
You know, they was always saying Aiden Hutchinson was like the
Josh
most
Hines
ready.
Allen, excuse me. But
that'd have been nasty, man.
Yeah. Even on offense, like, the receiving core looks stacked now. Like, obviously, it's not stacked to, like...
I can't wait to see what Travis Hunter looking like.
But you can add Travis Hunter to this. You assume Brian Thomas Jr. is going to have a bounce-back season.
Mm-hmm.
You have to hope that. Parker Washington's here. Jacoby Myers, who you just extended. There's a lot of guys in the receiving. Even Tim Patrick's in this receiving room. There's a lot of guys. And then ETN's a free agent. So I don't know if you just give the full reins to Bayshaw Tune or you sign somebody. I assume you sign somebody. I don't know if you bring ETN back. I don't know how Trevor's going to feel about that. But I think this team has signs to point upwards. I don't know right now. If you told me right now who would I pick to win this division next year, I would have to see the offseason because I think the Texans have things to work on. I think Jacksonville has things to work on. Hell, the Colts even was winning this division at one point.
Colts was in the driver's seat.
They were in the driver's seat. Yo, let Tennessee. We know how these teams they have a lot of money in free agency. Tennessee has the second most cap space in the league. Let them sign some key guys. They could make a push for this division, depending on the coach they get. So, I think it'll be an interesting offseason for Jacksonville. But
oh man, with me on this.
You know I love to see their downfall.
Hell yeah.
The 49ers took on the Philadelphia Eagles, and they were 5.5-point underdogs and won outright. They won 23-19. Brock Purdy, 18-31 for 262 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Jalen Hurts, 20-35 for 168 and a touchdown. Saquon Barkley, 26 carries for $106. Christian McCaffrey, 15 carries for 48 yards. He had a touchdown through the year. Demarcus Robinson, 6 grabs for $111 and a touchdown. Devontae Smith, 8 grabs for 70 yards. And A.J. Brown had those 2 key drops in this game that everybody likes to point to.
I'm going to start with me. I got a couple of apologies I want to issue. First one, I want to apologize to Niner Nation. I picked against you guys, picked the Eagles to win. I talked on the last episode as if, you guys had a good year. So I was wrong. Of course, I want to apologize to Kyle Shanahan. Caught a great game. Did you see the TikTok I sent you?
Yeah. I saw that before you sent it to me. Film Watchers. That's my guy. I follow him on YouTube.
I like him. No, he's tough. But, yeah, man. Robert Saleh, I owe you an even bigger apology because you've been doing this all season.
Hey.
one guy next to me might say you turn water into wine. And lastly,
Hey.
go ahead.
Shout out the former Cowboy Eric Kendricks with the PBU on the last play.
And he was balling.
Mm-hmm.
He was balling. He was making. I'm like, is that Eric Kendricks?
Mm-hmm. I thought we should have re-signed him this offseason. I thought he played well for us last year, but
no facts. Lastly, I want to apologize to myself because why did I pick the Eagles to do anything good? Everything just finally caught up to these guys in one game. They shouldn't have rested the starters against the Commanders.
They shouldn't have
even
did that.
had to play the 49ers, bro.
You wouldn't have. Obviously, you couldn't guarantee that, like Sirianni was saying. I could guarantee rest, but I can't guarantee the 2 seed. I think they would have rather played the Packers than the 49ers.
Oh, absolutely. They would have rather played the Packers, bro. Over the Niners, bro? Come on, man. Like, we always talk about teams that... These have been the 2 teams in the NFC that have been making the runs. Mm-hmm. The 49ers and the Eagles. And I know
the Rams.
And the Rams, too. But I know this isn't the best version we've seen of the 49ers, but you still got to get them respect.
Not even the best version you've seen of the Eagles.
Nah, facts. But I'm just saying because the 49ers, banged up all year. But, like, you got to at least, get them credit, man. Like, it's still a Kyle Shanahan coach team. I got to start saying that now. But
and you know how the 49ers are. They either make the championship game or get bounced in the first round.
That is what happens. And, shit, based on what he just said, they might be in the Super Bowl.
I think Shanahan, every year of his career, has either made the conference championship game or didn't make the playoffs. I think that's the stat.
Fucks with Kyle Shanahan,
yeah, if he gets to the dance, he going to make that championship game. If he don't get to that dance, he probably...
But, yeah,
they got a top 10.
Niner Nation, I'm sorry. Mike Curry, I'm sorry, because why would I put faith in the Eagles and Jalen Hurts? You can go ahead, man. But I'm sorry to the 49ers fans, because I know y'all was on my ass, but I'm sorry. I'm fucking sorry.
Hey, what's up, Nick Sirianni? You just don't give your team a schematic advantage on the offensive side of the ball. I think it's going to be out of your hands to pick who your next OC is because you can't do that either. You promoted a guy from your tree, and your tree sucks. Like obviously, Shane Steichen is technically a part of your tree. He was on the coaching staff before you were even part of the coaching staff, so I can't even, my fault. You brought him over for Indianapolis. That's a Frank Wright guy.
Yeah.
That's not a Sirianni guy. But and Kevin Patul's still gonna stay with the organization. They said they informed him that the OC will not be his role next year. Not that he's been fired. So I'm glad he's still a part of the organization because I kind of don't like when teams a coach
get scapegoated.
Yeah, a coach when. Coach will bring you up as your OC and then be like, nah, you're not the guy. So you're gone. Like, you're completely gone from the organization. So I will applaud you for that, Sirianni. But, your team, though, this is a bad coach football team. I don't know what else to say about that, especially offensively-wise. The offensive line sucked this year. And I think that it does have something to attribute to not only just injuries upon the offensive line. Obviously, Lane Johnson didn't play in this one. But the run scheme looked worse this year.
The run scheme never really looked good.
That TikTok sound of Saquon up the middle, AJ Brown deep ball. That looks in full effect this year, and I think it does have something to do with Jalen Hurts too, because we seen in I believe it was 2023, the Eagles were passing the ball a lot over the middle, and Jalen Hurts is not the best passer of the football over the middle as we know, and he started committing turnovers, and it's kind of like Sirianni was like, I don't like turnovers so much to the point where we're only passing to the outsides of the field. It's going to make my quarterback look worse. It's going to make this team not as fun. It's going to make, explosive plays only work, in my opinion, where you could actually target all spots of the field because the defense is going to be less in the middle. They're going to be more in the middle. So you're going to have more one-on-ones to the outside of A.J. Brown, more one-on-ones to Devontae Smith. Hell, even more one-on-ones to Jahan fucking Dotson.
Yeah. And why they throw to Jahan Dotson in the clutch?
Hey, man, because A.J. Brown dropped those 2 passes, bro.
Fuck, bro. All right, man.
I made a TikTok on A.J. Brown just because I was like, I think trading A.J. Brown would still be a detriment to this team.
Bro, and then, the dead cap is bad.
Yeah.
They don't got to out on him until
I think it's year after.
Yeah,
So, I don't think trading A.J. Brown would be a smart move for this team. I don't think he should be gone.
I hope he is gone, though. Because I like to see him yell at Nick Sirianni. I like them. But you can't do that
Patriots,
and then drop passes.
Call.
Patriots, pick up the phone, baby.
Carolina.
Pick up the phone,
Call.
baby.
I don't know why I can't think of other teams right now. Hey, even fuck it, Green Bay.
Pick up the phone, baby.
Call. You already called one NFC East team and stole their best player.
It was another team you said.
I did say another team. Shit, at this point, the Chargers. Nigga, call. All these teams should make a call.
Adam Peters.
Nah, they're not trading him inside the division.
Pick up the phone, baby.
They're not trading him inside the division.
Jalen gonna say, Denver, pick up the phone.
Yeah, they should call.
John Elway, pick up the phone.
They should make the call. But yeah, I think there's a lot of teams that should be interested in AJ Brown services if he is made available through trade this offseason. But Philly, man, like you had the defense this year. I really feel like Jalen Phillips was a key addition to the deadline. Darius Slay was
He's a
actually
future commander,
and not the
by the
Buffalo
way.
game.
He's a future commander, by the way.
Who, Jalen Phillips?
Yeah, future commander.
Yeah, Jalen Carter was back for this one. He played good, but it's like at some point, like I said, the offense is gonna have to score more than 20 points. That's kind of how I feel about the Broncos too. Like at some point, they're gonna have to score more than 20 points.
On some real shit, like that was Kyle Shannon and Vic Fangio had a chess match. Man.
Yeah, Shanahan tried to hire Fangio 3 times.
Damn.
He said he just has never been there, and Shanahan.
So he took it out on him, huh? Damn.
They say his worst career points per game against him rather than any other coordinator. Like he has never been good. I think this year was the most points he scored against him, and it was only 23.
Dang.
Like Fangio has that man's number. But like I said, if your offense can't score over 20 points, it's kind of hard to win football games.
Shout out Dallas Goedert.
He gonna get paid by somebody this offseason. I don't know if it's gonna be Philly.
Nah, I can't. Wait, actually, Commanders. Adam Peters, make the call. Right, let's get another Philly.
Get another Philly tight end.
Yeah, come on, man.
I don't got much more to say about San Fran that Mike didn't already allude to. Like,
yeah. Hey, keep going, man. Fuck it, keep going. I like the 49ers, bro. This version of the 49ers is actually likable. I know people were saying, like, fuck Debo Samuel when they had him. Like, nah, these dudes is likable, bro. Like, they underdog story, kind of.
They are.
Injuries.
I can't mess with them.
I feel it.
I'm a Cowboys fan. They anytime I see them in the playoffs, they bounce us. So it's like, I don't know how I'll be able to root for them. And people might say, how are you able to root for the Packers then? Because I'm a Jordan Love guy more than I'm a Packers hater at the end of the day. Jordan Love, Mike knows that's my guy. I said he was better than Herbert coming out of his class.
He did say that, y'all.
And some might argue he is right now. Speaking of Herbert.
Yeah, you could take the lead on this one. I actually didn't watch this game.
Chargers, Patriots won 16-3. Herbert 19-31 for 159 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Also had 57 yards on the ground, so he was their leading rusher. Lad McConkey 3 catches for 32 yards. Drake May 17-29, 268 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Was their leading rusher as well. 10 carries for 66 yards. And Ramondre Stevenson 3 rushes for 75 yards. Hunter Henry had the touchdown through the air. I want to start with the Chargers and Herbert. Jalen said he can't be top 5 if he can't win a playoff game. I would just argue this playoff game wasn't really his fault, bro.
Nah, I don't think it was.
Like, and I said it wasn't his fault. He didn't play good, and Jalen said those two things can't be true. I'm like, it could not be your fault, and you could also like still play all right. I can understand that, but like, I think people kind of don't realize when you're getting pressured the way he did, and he had over 40 dropbacks in this game, got pressured on 30 of them. So damn near like 2/3 of his dropbacks he got pressure on. It was the highest.
Wait,
pressure.
You said he had 40 dropbacks and got pressured on 30 of them?
Mm-hmm.
That's 70. That's 75%.
I think the real number was 67, so it was probably like 40 something, or 68 something like that. That's the most quarterbacks got pressure all season. Only first two. The team in second was the Chargers against the Eagles on that Monday night game. So I'm like, when this happens so often, I feel like people don't really get like a quarterback's eternal clock does speed up. And like you're not gonna go through your reads all patiently anymore, like because there's so many plays people are putting up like, oh, he missed Lad here. You got to take the deep shot to Quentin Johnston. I don't think he's thinking he has enough time to get to those reads. Like, and I know it was like, how many more excuses you gonna make for this guy? First of all, this man was in the playoffs with Brandon Staley, so I'm gonna make that excuse regardless. They blew a 27-0 lead. The defense had to still give up points in that game. Like y'all acting like, oh, the offense didn't score no more. Well, the defense gave up 31 in the second half. Like I don't understand how that's on Herbert, bro. He scored 27 points in the first half. So like, yeah, the Texans game, that's the only game I'll give you. Like, damn, he looked bad, but I'm like, Aaron Rodgers put up his worst performance of his career against the Texans defense. Like that Texans defense, D'Amico Ryans is phenomenal at his job. I'm not giving a pass for that because obviously, like I said, he played horrible. This game, I don't think he played good. I just don't think he played bad. Like,
and then also, we saw Greg Roman get fired today. So.
And like I said, they called a play action on 4th and 9 with the game on the line. No. I think the worst part about that is they had 7 blocking. And you know how many rushed for the Patriots and got pressure in 2 seconds?
How many?
They only had 3 rushing. And Milton Williams beat the triple team. But Jalen wanted me to put it on Herbert because he said he should have checked out of the play action.
I mean, yeah, but I guess. But what would have happened? Like,
And it doesn't help that your receivers, like outside of Ladd, none of them are really man beaters. I think Keenan Allen at this point of his career is more of a possession receiver. Quentin Johnston is more of a possession receiver as well. Even though he has a little bit more wiggle after the catch than obviously than Keenan Allen, but like these guys also aren't beating man coverage, bro.
yeah.
They aren't one on one man beaters either. So it's
I
like,
feel like teams kind of been like daring them to beat them in man.
yeah. Besides the Cowboys, who plays zone on them for a full game, and Herbert had his best game of the season. So shout out Eberflus,
Hey,
man.
Eberflus is gone, man. You good? Can't wait to see who our next DC is, man.
I really think it's gonna be Jim Leonard. The
Oh yeah, shout out
passing
Jim. I
game
told
guy
you that
from-
dude was a beast on those Rex
from the
Ryan
Broncos.
Jets.
I think that's who
was
it's gonna be. But obviously, we can't formally sign him until the Broncos are eliminated. So
He was like the only white safety out there, bruh. It wasn't too many of them.
something I like about the Cowboys and what they're doing in this defensive coordinator search. I know this is not an episode about them, but I'm gonna bring this up. A lot of the guys that they're bringing in to talk to are like players who played in the secondary or coached the secondary. So it's like, oh, they actually know what their weakness is.
Mhm.
It's the damn secondary. But anyway, back to the Chargers Patriots. Like I said in my TikTok, I think you need to get real on offense around Herbert, bro. Like, they've never had an offensive line. Obviously, you came in this year assuming Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater were going to be healthy. That's a big upgrade because you even saw with just one Joe Alt, Herbert looked like an MVP candidate.
Mhm.
So just imagine two players there. And I think you need to get some type of other receiver, bro. Obviously, I think we're waiting for Trey Harris to step up. He was a second round pick last year.
Oh yeah, that's
But
right.
he was kind of buried on this depth chart because you brought in Keenan Allen like last second. So I think you're waiting for Trey Harris to step up. But I also don't know, like, and I like Trey Harris coming out of his draft class. I think he was a top 40 player on my board. But it's like, he's also not a man beater. Like, you need another receiver who could beat man coverage. And it is like, it sounds crazy to a team where you feel like the receiving core is solid, but it's just not all that. It's not all that. On to the other side, I don't even think Drake may play well in this game. Like, I'm just watching the game. I'm like, I think I texted in the group chat. This is one of Drake's worst games. And then I look at the stat sheet. I'm like, oh, damn, he had 300 yards of the touchdown. But and led his team in rushing and passing. And I think this Patriots team is pretty nice. I think their path to the Super Bowl could be quite easy. Maybe not easy.
You think they got the ingredients?
Maybe not easy to the point of like how their regular season was easy. But I kind of think they could copy and paste the same game plan and formula to beat the Texans next week, especially defensively. If Nico Collins doesn't play, who we know suffered a concussion on Monday Night Football, and now they're playing on a short week.
I don't like that.
Gonzo suffered a concussion, but obviously he has the extra day to recover, so he's probably going to be back in the lineup. They're already estimating that Nico Collins might not be back in the lineup. We'll see. I know he'll push the play, but we'll see if he pushes past concussion protocol. But if they don't, if Nico Collins isn't there, yo, Christian Gonzalez, Carlton Davis, and Marcus Jones, that's a hell of a three corners to have in the secondary. And
It's gonna be another nasty game.
yeah, and it's Christian Kirk. Like, who's about to
He
step
ain't
up?
doing
Jaden
that
Higgins?
again. Christian Kirk ain't doing that again.
Jaden Higgins? Jalen Noel? Dalton who's stepping up to receive the ball for the Patriots?
Kind of stepped up. I ain't gonna lie, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I ain't like the way CJ Stroud played.
His turn the clock was also sped up, but we'll get to that in a second. Like you said, and even Woody Marks, like I don't trust the Texans to really run the football. I guess I'm giving away my pick. I'm probably gonna pick the Patriots this week. Well, I just said I think they're gonna go to the Super Bowl now, so because I guess y'all do that anyway. But yeah, I think they have the corners to really man up with any of these teams left in the playoffs. Whether it's them, whether it's the Buffalo Bills, whether it's the Denver Broncos. I really trust Christian Gonzalez. I think he's one of those type of corners. I think he'd be the fourth best. Hey, wait, actually, that's what I wanted to talk about with the Philadelphia Eagles. I know I'm bouncing around everywhere. Yo, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean was really all-pro first team, and they was getting torched by Jawan Jennings and Demarcus Robinson. That's all I have to say about that.
Marcus Robinson was cooking.
Yeah, first play of the game got torched. All-pro first. I think Quinyon Mitchell is solid. I think he's a top 10 corner in football. I just don't think he's on this.
All pro tier.
Yeah. I still have him below.
All pro means you're what, top 6? Top
He was
4?
all-pro first team.
So that means
So they
you're
say he was
top
the second
3?
best corner in football this year.
Yeah, no, I think that's a bit bizarre.
Obviously Sauce Gardner didn't
think
play
he's
all the
good,
way.
though. I think he's good.
Yeah, but I
First
still
team?
would rank.
If you're first team all pro, bro, you need to be locking down.
Yeah, I would still rank Sertan, obviously. I would still rank Sauce ahead of him. I would still rank Gonzo ahead of him. Hell, I would rank JC Horn ahead of him. Like, I have a list. You know me, but I'm definitely missing at least a player or two.
What's wrong with me? Why am I not
I
thinking?
didn't say Derek Stingley.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
I
Hell,
rank
fuck
Stingley
yeah.
ahead of him. I would rank Devon Witherspoon ahead of him as well. And I think Devon Witherspoon is arguable. So like, he's around 6.
Yeah, he's around 6.
And there's nothing
And
wrong
that's
with
not
that.
first team.
Yeah. But anyway, back to the Patriots. I think they have the formula to win. I think they can run the ball. I think this was a tough matchup against the Chargers. Obviously, you have a tough matchup against Houston, but I think they will be able to run the ball on Buffalo or Denver. Denver's run defense is a little shaky. I don't think it's like the best in the league, like how I think Houston and the Chargers are. But yeah, I think they have a formula to win games, and I think they're going into most of these games, except if you play the Bills. I think Drake May is the second best quarterback in the playoffs remaining. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. You could argue Stafford. You could have Stafford if you want him, but
I'll
like,
go Stafford, but the argument is definitely there.
I think in most of these games,
MVP candidate for crying out
yeah,
loud. So.
most of the games, except if you play the Bills, you have the better quarterback, and I think your defense isn't on the same level as the Texans or Broncos, but I think they're the step below it. So I think they can really make a Super Bowl push, and this happened in a game where their offense didn't play all too well. Their defense stepped up. I think they literally, like I said, could implement that same exact game plan they did against Houston. And why can't they win that game?
Yeah.
And then if you, like I said, if you're in the conference championship, I can see any of those 4 teams making the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl because you 2 games away. So yeah, that's how I feel about the Patriots. Final game.
We don't gotta spend no time on this.
Potentially Aaron Rodgers' last one, man.
Yeah.
Houston and Pittsburgh.
Man,
Houston won
because that game was closer than the final score indicated.
I mean, the Texans scored 23 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, no, the game was closer than the score indicated, bro.
Houston won 30-6. C.J. Stroud 21-32, 250 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Woody Marks 19 carries for $112 and a touchdown. Christian Kirk 8 catches for 144 yards and a touchdown. On the other side, Rodgers 17-33 for 146 yards, no touchdowns and a pick. Jalen Warren 12 carries for 43 yards. DK Metcalf 2 catches for 42 yards. I feel like they were both in the first quarter.
Nah, I feel like they were too. Because that's when I said, can I trade for DK in the chat? And I swear he never had another catch.
He didn't have another target to the fourth quarter. They said it on the broadcast. Shout out Houston. I think their offense looks shaky to be a Super Bowl contender. Like, very, 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 very shaky.
I'm not buying their offense, bro.
And it's like their offensive line wasn't the greatest this year, but it wasn't, like, horrible like the Chargers was. It just wasn't the greatest. But this time it looked horrible. T.J. Watt now has 0 sacks through 7 career playoff games. Or 6 career playoff games or something like that. Steelers are obviously on a 7-game playoff losing streak. But the Texans, on the other hand, I think this is their 10th game in a row they won. If we include the regular season, I believe they were on a 9-game win streak coming into the playoffs. Let me count it real quick.
They're the hottest team.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. 10-game win streak. They haven't lost since the Broncos in the first week of November. Really, really hot football team, man. Really, really hot football team. It's just that defense, man. They just want to cover 2 man the whole game, bro. And it's like, yo, Will Anderson gonna get pressure.
Our guys are better than yours.
Yeah,
guys.
Will Anderson gonna get pressure. Daniil Hunter gonna get pressure, and you're not throwing on Stingley. You're not throwing on Kamari Lassiter. You're not throwing on Caden Bullock, Jalen Petrie, whichever one of them is in the slot. And then you have
and Aziz Al-Shaair gonna
Jimmy
make you
Ward.
pay.
Yeah, he going to for sure. What am I about to say? I think this defense is really damn good. Like,
nah, that defense is phenomenal.
It's one of them ones.
Yeah. Nah, legit.
It's one
This is
of
one
them
of the
ones.
best defenses I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but I didn't know if that sounded crazy.
No, it's not crazy.
I didn't know if that sounded crazy. Like, it's truly a really
It's
good
a
defense,
special
man.
defense.
It's a special defense, and I think it's gonna take a special type of player to beat them. Not even just.
Bro saying Drake May special.
I am saying Drake May
This is
special.
already
I mean, the
banging
Patriots
it.
could lose. They could legitimately lose, and I would not be surprised. But I just trust the Patriots offense to do more than the Texas offense. In that
I
game.
can't wait to see this game, man.
That game is 3:00 on ESPN on Sunday.
Oh, perfect. That's on my birthday.
Yep.
Oh shit.
And then the night game is Rams Bears. 6:30 on NBC Sunday Night Football.
Oh man, I might see my mom crash out on my birthday.
This playoffs is gonna be fun because I truly think any of the 4 teams in the AFC could make the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't be shocked. I know I've been talking a lot of smack about the Broncos. My godmom even been telling me I've been talking smack about the Broncos, but
Oh yeah.
it's just like I could see them making the Super Bowl. I don't know I go to the opinion of a lot of y'all, but like I'm not picking that to happen, bro. Like the way I talk about the Texans offense, I feel the same exact way about the Broncos offense.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But then again, Denver could just win any game, and I think Bo Nix is better than C.J. Stroud. I mean, C.J. Stroud is better than Bo Nix. I don't
But
think that's crazy to say.
I don't think he been playing like it.
It's not like Bo Nix has been playing much better than him.
I don't know, bro. In the clutch, I just trust Bo Nix more. In the clutch.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
I just don't think. I just don't. Respectfully, I know Bo Nix got all the game winning drives. I think Caleb Williams should easily won our clutch player of the year over Bo Nix. I feel like we saw that in the game we just watched. Bo Nix not winning that game against the Packers.
Yeah, no, that's real.
I can say that about a lot of games. The Bears won this year. Bo Nix not winning that game, man. Bo Nix not winning either of the Packers games.
No, that's real.
Respectfully. And, you know that was Aaron Rodgers' statistical worst game of his career?
I'm not surprised, man. He looked frustrated out there, bro.
He advocated for Matt Lafluer and Mike Tomlin in his post-game presser.
He real.
He said he really liked his time in Pittsburgh. He said he felt joy here. He said the only one place he didn't feel joy
he
is
looked
New
like
York.
he had a good time on the Steelers, bro. Like genuinely, like I mean, obviously we didn't think like they would do anything, serious, but like or be like a threat. But like I had them making the playoffs.
I think he was the only one.
I know some things, man. It's just happening.
Hey, next year I'm gonna pick them to go 7-10. They actually gonna go 7-10 because Mike Tomlin not there.
8-9.
Hey, is it crazy that Zach Taylor's the only coach left in the AFC North?
It is crazy. My man said that to me today. Shout out my boy Sean.
Yeah, man. It's only 8 teams left, man.
18, Elite 8.
There's only 8 teams left, and only one quarterback is left in the playoffs with a ring.
And that is
Stafford.
Stafford.
Well, technically 2 if you can count Jimmy G.
Anyways, bro.
You on the same roster.
They are on the same team.
You gotta count Jimmy G's ring with the Patriots, man.
Damn.
And Brock Purdy's been to a Super Bowl.
He has.
I think that's the only other quarterback who's been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So you still rocking with the Bills. So who you rocking with in the NFC?
I think the Rams will get their act together. I'm not confident on that take.
I'm not confident in anybody in the NFC.
Yeah.
It's the same thing I said about the AFC. I can say that these 4 teams making a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Even though I keep saying like San Fran's not gonna keep winning, not getting pressure. I still believe that though.
Yeah, I'm not standing 10 toes on that take, but I'm it's ironic to say that with the 49ers hat on, but you know how I feel about the Rams.
Seattle.
I had the Rams Kurt Warner joint on last episode.
Seattle can win. I just don't know if I trust Sam Darnold in a conference championship game.
You and me both, brother. At least though they're the 1 seed.
Even a matchup though, because Chicago could force turnovers, and the Rams could get pressure. It's gonna be an interesting rest of the playoffs, man. It's gonna be an interesting rest of the playoffs. We got more of the draft picks falling out. Cowboys officially picked 12 and picked 20. I think they need to trade one of those back though. We don't have a second or third round pick. Obviously, I know what Jerry Jones is gonna say. If we don't trade one of those back, our second round pick is Quentin Williams and our third round pick is George Pickens. But like, that could be the case, and we could still have a second and third round pick if you just trade one of them back. Like, I think it's that simple. I think they need to trade back. I think the 20th pick is the one that needs to be traded back because I think it's the 12th pick. Obviously, my mock draft I posted, we got.
You can get a real impact player with that. Not saying you can't with 20, but you know what I'm saying.
We got Caleb Downs. I think Sonny Styles would be phenomenal for the Cowboys as well. Even if it's one of the edge rushers, like if one of the edge rushers end up falling, like Ruben Maine, his arm length stuff. I don't think he'll end up falling, but somebody impactful will be on the board at 12. And I think at 20 you could trade back, and you could still get somebody impactful, man. Like a couple years ago, we traded back with the Lions like 4 spots and got a third round pick. Why can't we do that again? We need to have some sort of pick on day 2. That's how I feel about the Cowboys. They need to have some sort of pick on day 2.
That's how I feel about Adam Peters.
Yeah. But y'all have the 7th pick. I think it's going to be harder to trade back because it seems like at least the scouts are talking. It's not like a lot of blue chip players in this class. I think I would argue the same thing. I think Mendoza's really good. I think he's gonna be the first overall
He's
pick.
a Raider.
I think Dante Moore will be the second overall pick, regardless of who. And I think Dante Moore's declaring. You saw Dylan Raiola transfer to Oregon.
Yeah, I did see that.
He's not transferring to sit on the bench. He's not. He's not transferring to sit on the bench. So I think Dante Moore's going to declare, and I think it's a smarter decision for Dante Moore because you at least have $45 million guaranteed if you're the second overall pick.
Yeah, that's valid.
So, and even if he's not a second overall pick, he'll be a top 10 pick because he's a quarterback and he's a solid quarterback prospect at that. I don't think he's like the greatest quarterback prospect. He actually kind of reminds me, like if Jaden Daniels didn't have his legs, like as much as his legs, I could see it because I think he's a really good and accurate passer over the thirds of the field and not in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
And that's what Jaden Daniels excelled at in college, and he even excelled at that in the NFL. But obviously, Jaden Daniels has the running aspect as well. I can't wait to talk about more of the draft stuff, man.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be fun.
I can't wait to talk about draft season. Obviously, like I said, right after the NFL season ends, we're gonna do our rankings: quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end, edge, interior defensive line, linebacker, corner, safety.
Edge is gonna be fun.
I'm sure of it, man.
Edge is gonna be. Me and Jalen gonna make that joint fun. I promise that. I promise that.
I'm sure of it, man. I just don't know. Obviously, we're gonna talk about this more in like our group chats and stuff, but like, I don't know who we gonna rank because like, should Malik Neighbors be ranked? Because I know what I'm doing with all the injured players who barely played this season or just came back this season. Even if I feel like they're a top 10 caliber player, I'm putting all of them at like 11 or 12 because I just can't do that because you didn't play.
I probably do the same thing.
That's what I'm doing with Bucky Irving too. That's what I'm gonna do with Chase Young. That's what I'm gonna do with
No, that's not what I'm doing with Chase.
I know that's not what you're doing with Chase Young, but so my criteria stays same amongst all positions.
10
I'ma
sacks
do
in
it
12 games, brother.
I'm gonna do it with everybody who
10 sacks in 12 games, forced fumble recovery, and a touchdown.
who I agree. But I'm gonna do that with every position, so my criteria stays the same among all positions, and you still gonna be
but
arguing
not a
with
Nick
me.
Bosa situation.
But I also think Nick Bosa, obviously,
undisputed
like
top
he's
five?
well, I have him at 6 because I have
Okay.
I have the 5 elite guys above him, and since he didn't play, he's gonna slide in at 6.
Chase Young,
Like I said, my criteria is staying the same regardless of who you are.
real.
So,
Alright.
yeah, good episode. Not our longest episode, obviously. Only 2 of us here. Should be a 4-man show on Friday, at least what we seeing right now.
It should be. At worst, a 3-man.
Yeah, appreciate y'all rocking with us. Till next time, peace.
Peace.